You have returned for another season, and the world has not grown kinder. It waits for you, as a forest waits for travelers, with shadows deep and teeth well hidden. In one village, children play among painted blocks. Their laughter fills the air. But in the alleys between the towers, wolves stalk in borrowed skins. One hunts the wolves, a hunter wearing the mask of a child. He drags them into the light, and for this the village casts him out. Far from there, in a withering chamber, a man makes war against his own body. The air burns, the walls drip heat. His eyes sag, his pulse hammers, but he does not stop, for the crowd still watches. He bargains with time. Time refuses. And when his body falls, the crowd still watches. And beyond both places, a great hall of judgment. There, men and women quarrel over words and silence, over crumbs of stolen stories. One declares, "This laughter is mine, this silence belongs to me." Another answers, "But silence is commentary." And the hall erupts into madness, for no one knows who owns a pause. These are the tales before you. This is the path you walk with on this journey today. Welcome, everyone, to Season 8 of the Convoluted Podcast. Beware the forest. Not all who enter return.
It's wild, it's twisted. Headlines hitting like a slap and you missed it. It's madness, I'm tapped out, live on the scene and I can't find my way out.
Ladies and gentlemen, and anyone listening on 3x speed, just keep up. And welcome back to the Convoluted Podcast.
That's right, baby. Season 8. We're back. You're back. The world is still on fire, and somehow we're both survived and hit record again.
Yes, it's a new season, same chaos, now with more updates, potentially better mics in the future, and slightly fewer unpaid parking tickets. Let's hope for that for the rest of this year.
Speak for yourself. Some of us came back changed. Married, actually, maybe, or at least unofficially legally tangled.
She means she got hitched on a quote-unquote vacation. Now technically outranks me on the podcast hierarchy.
Let's just say that there was a pool, some slots, and some very hot sunny days.
So yeah, Liz, aka Mrs. Dominus now, which feels both threatening and exactly on brand for the show.
Don't worry, I'm still me. Just with upgraded vibe stats and the ability to do one-shot paperwork.
And if it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been riding with us since season 1, first of all, why? But also thank you.
Now, if you're watching on YouTube, do the Holy Trinity, like, comment, subscribe. That's how YouTube knows we exist, and let us keep doing this without summoning the algorithm demons.
And for our Spotify and podcast listeners, follow the show, drop a review, text the episodes to someone who makes consistently bad choices. They'll love it here.
Now that we've reintroduced ourselves and soft launched my new last name,
Let's start season 8 the only way we know how, sadly. And that's with, how has your break been, Liz? We've been taking a break, yes. For the last 2-ish weeks.
Chaotic.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's a break from the
chaotic, dude.
Yeah, it's been a break from the show.
Gives me a moment.
Yeah, a break from the show is not a break from the world.
No. We had a technician go on leave. You know that, right? Well, they gave their notice.
Oh, fun. Welcome to the club.
I know
again.
That was a flip-flop shop from what I've had. So, like, I heard Friday, oh yeah, she'll be back on Labor Day. Cool. Back on to Monday. I wasn't there because I had to work the weekend. And Tuesday rolls around, and I'm almost literally at the end of my shift, and people are like, "Hey, you're gonna take the overnight tech shift?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on. Weren't you here yesterday?" No. No. Well, she put in a notice. Apparently, I guess from what I've heard in the last week or so, she wasn't even gonna bother to tell anybody. I'm like,
That's what it feels like it is these days. As you know, and maybe some of our returning audience members and some of our new ones ready to hear this. In my workplace, at least in my department, we've had a good like 40% of people who quote quit, never just leave any notice, they just never show up again. Which, if you don't want to work, that's fine. Just tell people, hey, here's my 2 weeks. I'm out. That's it. That's all you gotta do. I personally am not gonna get mad if you're gonna put in your 2 weeks. It's annoying when they just never come back and vanish. I'm like what?
what's
Because
harder for it's harder for that positions we have as an overnight shift. Nobody wants
oh
to show
yeah,
up with that shit.
on top of that, you had to do. So you were kind of bouncing back and forth, right? So you unlike like I have a very standard
That
schedule. Pretty standard schedule. Yeah. No, it doesn't. There's no variance in time of day. You can be morning, mid shift, evening, night. It's like that can be more hectic than me working graveyard sometimes. Like graveyard is not that
Yeah.
great just for as a standard, but having a variance on top of that, that's just more frustrating in my opinion. So
Oh yeah, it's definitely been frustrating. It's been a chaos of a ride, so there will be some weekends we won't be alive, or I won't be alive to the world because I've worked at night. So
yeah,
I
well,
warn you guys, I'm forewarning.
yeah, like I
I'll
said,
try and get them before I go into these nights.
we're doing our best. Like I said, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening. So, but it is what it is. We have to earn money to put food on our tables and a roof over our heads. And that's kind of how
keep the money flowing into this podcast.
exactly. We got to keep our hobbies and our hobbies alive, right?
Exactly.
And but yeah.
Hey, what about you? Anything else with you? How's your break been?
It's been mildly hectic, in positive and negative versions. Let's go with the positive. I started earlier. I was trying to work on the show a little bit more to kind of clean it up, but it's gonna be a little bit. But it should be ready by the time this episode goes live. A lot of the stuff should be done. But my week was I got to celebrate my grand aunt's quinceañera. And for those that might not make sense, right? Do you understand what that means, Liz?
I had a grand aunt too, yeah, but she was a lot older than 15.
So my grand aunt is older than 15. So what to kind of just put it simply, our entire family basically through her, basically kind of what Americans would consider a sweet 16, a quinceañera in Hispanic culture. Throw her one of those for I forget how old she is. It was her birthday, but but the reason we threw her that and was when she did turn 15. During that time, they couldn't afford or have the time to do one, and so when they had just like a small birthday party with just like close family, and everyone decided, all her kids and everything, hey, reached out to everyone, to hey, let's throw this for their mom basically, and they're like, yeah, and so we threw basically her sweet 16, her quinceañera, with the whole 9 yards. So it was basically a quinceañera for my grand aunt. So it's just basically making her relive something that she wasn't able to do when she turned 15. So it was a sweet moment.
That gives me chills. That's a good memory though.
Yes, it was fun. All the family was there. All her kids, our grandkids. It was fun. It was enjoyable. So one negative thing is when we were out there, because we were out there for 2 days, about 10 miles away, there is one of the biggest fires happening out there in Washington.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So we were
man.
staying. Where we were staying, it was like fire watch. I'm like, oh god.
Hopefully you can pull this party off without a hitch.
So yeah, it worked out. It worked out. They were keeping it contained, but it was to what I was being told, it was the biggest fire in history for Washington. I'm like, and it's like 10 miles away. Like, okay.
Okay.
And everyone was pretty calm, so like, okay, we shouldn't worry about it. So, besides that, yeah, that was the positive. It was enjoyable. Negative, as I told you recently, but my mother had a little bit of a health scare. So she's back home at the time of this release. She's back home. She's recovering. Being stubborn as hell, like all mothers are, aren't they? So we're trying to make sure she's staying on the diet that the doctors prescribed and making sure she's not over exerting herself. But moms will be moms, and you should know you're a mom.
We never stop.
So, but yeah, it's one of those things. It wasn't too serious, but it's just one of those things. As long as she's good, it should be fine. But we'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of been my week. It's just been one thing after another. Nothing too bad, but it's just been a lot of little things. September for me, at least, moving forward, is going to be an interesting one. So we'll see how September pans out. But that's something for a later. Anything else you want to talk before we jump into our stories, Liz?
Nope, we're good. Let's start season 8 strong.
All right, then, let's go.
Are you out of your mind?
All right, everyone. So on our lead story, Roblox. Yes, Roblox. I think we've spoken about this multiple times, Liz, of this online game. It's a platform with over 70 million daily players, a digital playground for kids, and apparently a haven for predators. But one user decided to fight back, not with policy or plugins, but with decoys, hidden cameras, and a YouTube channel.
That user was Schlep. Real name, Michael M., age 22, a former Roblox player, now turned vigilante, and self-described survivor of grooming on the very platform he was targeted. His mission? Infiltrate the predator pipeline from the inside by going undercover as a miner inside the game.
So this all started in late 2023, where Schlep began uploading Sting-style content to YouTube. His strategy was simple but effective. Step 1. Create an underage Roblox avatar. Step 2. Enter public lobbies. Step 3. Chat. And document anyone attempting to initiate explicit conversation or move to off-platform apps like Discord or Snapchat.
He used voice changers, age-appropriate language, recorded full chat logs. In some cases, he initiated off-platform meetups under the supervision of real law enforcement, which led to actual arrest. By mid-2025, his team claims his work contributed to at least 6 arrests across 3 states.
Nice. So, the most viral of these, a confrontation in Target parking lot, from a Roblox predator exposed IRL. From a video called Roblox Exposed IRL, shows Schlep reading the chat log aloud to visibly panicked 35-year-old man who had agreed to meet a 13-year-old girl. And quote, there's a video by Schlep. Quote, you told her, quote, double quote there. So let me get this right. The video. Quote, you told her, quote, no one has to know, just bring a hoodie, quote, end quote. That was 4 hours ago. Anything you want to say now? End quote. God.
The man fled. Police arrested him 2 blocks away.
At first, Schlepp's channel gained praise, even among law enforcement forums. Former FBI agent profiler Andrew Rose said in a Reddit AMA he was doing what be better. What he's doing would be better with agency support, but it's shockingly effective.
But Roblox Corporation? Not thrilled. On August 9th, 2025, they issued a permanent ban of Schlepp's account and followed with a formal cease and desist. The legal filed citing violations of Roblox terms of use, including simulating child endangerment, engaging in unauthorized surveillance of users, using Roblox to conduct vigilante investigations, interfering with ongoing moderation and legal investigations.
So, in plain English, stop pretending to be a kid to catch creeps. You're not allowed to do our job better than us. End quote.
Roblox issued a public statement 2 days later, August 11, 2025. The official statement, quote, "We do not condone vigilante justice on our platform. While we support efforts to keep children safe, we must enforce our community rules uniformly and in accordance with law enforcement protocols," end quote.
So Schlepp fired back in a video titled "Banned for Catching Predators," my Roblox farewell, where he stated, I was groomed on Roblox, or quote, when I was groomed on Roblox when I was 14, and I made it my mission to stop it from happening to someone else. And instead of support, they gave me a legal threat, end quote.
Even worse, according to his legal rep Daniel Cray, Roblox didn't acknowledge his abuse history until Schlepp's mother sent formal notice threatening to sue for retaliation and trauma denial.
And yes, Roblox confirmed the existence of an updated moderation policy back in July 2025, just weeks before the ban. Internally referred to it as the anti-vigilante clause. It gives moderators authority to ban accounts using roleplay or decoy behavior designed to simulate abuse scenarios.
That's right. The only person actually getting predators off Roblox banned for pretending to be a bait.
Which begs the question. Yeah. Which begs the question. Is Roblox more concerned with protecting kids or protecting its brand?
Because when the guy who literally stops predators is treated like the problem, something's broken, and the internet noticed.
So, what are your thoughts, Liz, before we continue?
Yeah, it's protecting the predators, not the actual children. So
yeah, that's what it reads like, right? It feels like, and a lot of people will probably read more about the online recourse of everything. But yeah, definitely just reading the initial case of this, the main story of this, after he banned, yeah, it reads more like Roblox is just protecting predators. That's what it reads like, right? Like why ban the person who is actively working and doing it the right way, using working with law enforcement who has actually confirmed predator stories. Like we've read multiple stories of children being endangered through Roblox, and there's still more stories that have come out in recent days since this. Like it is wild that the one who are getting cease and desist orders are the ones who are doing their job, basically. Like how would you have felt knowing this a couple years ago, letting your kid play on Roblox? Would you have even allowed that back in the day?
No, I don't know, but everybody's playing it, so can't make your
Exactly.
kid feel like the outsider.
Exactly.
So
Everyone's
that's a
playing it,
problem. Everyone's playing it, so
including where there are kids, there are potentially predators.
unfortunately, but it's everywhere. I think even in public spaces. So
Yeah. But here they have one-on-one. They have more one-on-one interaction because the parents are usually just like, "Here's your tablet, play," and a good amount of parents when we've discussed this, just don't follow up or ignore it, and then it can lead to situations.
mm-hmm.
So let's continue. So the fallout. An attorney general with a lawsuit, some creators in a revolt because of Roblox stock taking a nosedive so fast it left blockety debris. So because Schlepp's gone now, he's banned, he's been served, he's been silenced. But there's been a recent video. That I will say that at the time of this recording that he has made a recent video. But the story didn't end there
Might have seen a blip of it.
Yeah, it came out at the time of this recording. It probably came out a day or two ago. I haven't watched it yet, but it recently came out about him working with someone. I'll say who at the end. But because Roblox didn't take just the heat from YouTube, they took heat from the state of Louisiana.
Yep, just 5 days after Schlepp's ban, August 14th, 2025, Louisiana Attorney General Liz Merrill dropped a 47-page lawsuit on Roblox's metaphorical front lawn and reads less like a lawsuit more than a verbal mazel tov.
Molotov.
Sorry.
and let's run the quote direct from the complaint. Quote, Roblox operation has created a perfect environment for child predators, a digital space that is marketed as safe but functions as a pipeline for abuse, end quote.
The suit points in everything Schlepp's videos highlighted: weak moderation, no real age verification, unsupervised chat systems, and thousands of minors interacting with strangers in real time.
One of the most damning examples, a Louisiana man arrested in 2024 for a CSAM possession. Do you know what CSAM is?
Child sexual assault.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Had allegedly been using Roblox to groom minors. This case is cited in Section 3B on that specific filing.
It gets worse. The lawsuit mentions actual Roblox game titles like Diddy Party, Escaped Epstein Island, and Sex Tycoon.
With a 3.
X being a 3, yep. As an example of exploitative content that stayed live for days or weeks before moderators acted.
And while the lawsuit was hitting headlines, Roblox tried to control the damage. CEO David Bazinski, I think that's a
Bazuski? I don't know.
Anyways, posted an open letter. Yeah, posted an open letter titled "Keeping Roblox Safe for All." I love that. I love that. On August 16th, where he stated, "Quote: We are evolving our safety systems every day. We do not condone vigilante actions, but we welcome constructive efforts to support safety." End quote.
That's corporate speak for please stop yelling at us while our stock is plummeting.
Which, yeah, it was. Roblox at that time lost roughly like 9% of its market value that same week. That's about $2.8 billion, Liz. $1 billion evaporated over one viral video and one very attorney general.
Creators and started pulling out. Parents were furious, and the memes, absolutely savage. One TikTok cut before Roblox safety promise of Schleppstein footage set to circus music.
A Reddit post titled Roblox Catch the Predators hit 42,000 upvotes in 12 hours. Quote, Schlepp did more in 10 videos than the entire Roblox trust and safety team in 10 years.
Damn. Even big name creators like Creekcraft and Flamingo started subtweeting Roblox. One of them wrote, "This isn't just a bad optics, this is moral failure dressed as policy update."
Meanwhile, Schlepp's video posted one final video, they are more mad at me than the predators, where he says, quote, I didn't trap anyone. They exposed themselves. All I did was hit the record. End quote.
Roblox hasn't reinstated them. They haven't walked back to their policy. And the Louisiana case, still active, still brutal, still very, very public.
So where do we land here? With a $1 billion company that pushed the whistleblower harder than the creeps he exposed, punished the whistleblowers harder than the creeps he exposed, a community asking who's protecting kids, the company or the guy they banned? Because when your platform top predator catcher gets treated like he's the problem, maybe the predators aren't the only thing broken. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening. They're financially hit, so companies really will start acting the second money counts. They don't really care as long as they're making money. They don't care, right? We've known this, right? Companies don't care. Yes. So yeah, having their them lose almost $3 billion in market share, that is big. That's when they'll take. But even then, it seems like they double down to even triple down. I'm like, yeah, no, we're working on it. We're working on it. But it sounds like they've been, quote, working on it for a lot of years. And it's still happening. There are still kids being groomed, kidnapped, essayed, and like what is the line, Liz? What would you say as a parent? What would you say? Like,
There shouldn't be a line. They should be drawn before it even happens. So I'm thankful my kids are a little bit smarter and only interacts with her friends, but on Discord. They're on Roblox, but they're interacting on Discord. So
that's how they also get people. They move them off platform and stuff. That's what's
I
scary
know, but
too.
it's all her friends, though. It's not like anybody else outside of that platform. So
But but it's one of those things. Just a general, but not you, just other parents. It's just
yeah.
the watchful eye that we hope people do just doesn't happen a lot, and that's where things like this happen, right?
hmm
And like I mentioned, there is we could actually watch his video where, like I said, can you guess who the guest he's working with now is?
Flamingo?
No. Yeah,
No.
Schlepp.
Schlepper was working with Flamingo? I don't know.
He is working with Chris Hansen.
Really?
You want to
Nice.
watch a little of that video?
Sure. Why
Okay.
not? I like Chris
Yes.
Hansen.
So yeah, the OG television personality who was the Predator Hunter, right? Do you remember his catchphrase, Liz?
Catch a predator?
Yeah, what was his catchphrase?
I don't remember. Sorry, I forgot that part.
Would you like to take a seat?
Oh yes.
So, all right, everyone, give us 1 second while I pull up the video. We'll watch a little bit of it. Yeah, it's a little bit long, but we'll watch a little bit and then go from there. All right, everyone, we're back. So we're gonna move on. Roblox, take a seat, Liz, featuring Chris Hansen.
Roblox is a place where we filter all the text and the voice, where we monitor for critical harms, where there's no image sharing or any of the things that might happen from that.
I want to start off by saying that we all want to keep Roblox safe. We share this view, and we know that there's members of our community who feel strongly about that too. And you know what? We welcome them as part of the dialogue about how to keep Roblox safe.
Oh, this is a good reference to the was it Apple? I think it was an Apple commercial.
Or legislation, we've innovated with age estimation on our own because we want to keep people on our platform.
This whole situation is kind of crazy.
Everybody go donate to this boy Schlepp.
This is probably the worst decision this
Everyone's
company has
talking about
ever
it.
made.
Hashtag free Schlepp on God. Yeah, they actually need Schlepp. I'm wishing Schlepp the best.
Roblox, you need to do something.
There's gotta be something done. Nobody at Roblox listens to us. I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated.
Why should we support a platform that is taking steps to prevent predators from getting caught?
My thoughts exactly.
Roblox has just lost $12 billion in market value following.
Different from they lost more money since Free Fire.
They have. I've been watching. May's been watching some videos on YouTube on Schlepp and Roblox and.
Oh, so you have some idea what's happening.
A somewhat idea what's going on. Yes.
Okay, but not as much detail as you learned right now.
Yeah.
Was it more, in your opinion? Was it more in line what you thought was happening, or more intense than you thought?
More language, I think. I was paying attention, but not paying attention. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's in the background. I have
their
other things
response
going
to their
on
cease
in
and
my...
desist letter against me. Just for context, I'm someone who's gotten 6 predators within their community arrested in real life. That loss, though, isn't on me. It's a direct result of Roblox's own response to its child safety crisis. Instead of addressing the real issues, Roblox has doubled, tripled, even quadrupled down. They've put out statements after statements painting me and my team as reckless vigilantes while claiming that their platform is safe, when it absolutely
That's a
is
joke.
not. People are just seeing through this, and that's why a huge movement has started online called Free Schlep. It's been trending everywhere. Multiple members of Congress have now called out the company's child abuse
Oh, wow.
and the Attorney General of Louisiana has filed
I
a
didn't know about
giant
that.
lawsuit against the company for, and I quote, prioritizing user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety.
Let me rewind that a little bit.
And I quote, prioritizing user growth.
Prioritizing user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. If that doesn't sound like a company, what is, right?
Right.
Like, at the end of the...
I'm surprised it took this long.
Yeah, because there's always call to actions. There's always news stories. We've read them of things happening through Roblox. And we always say there should see something done. And does something get done? No, it just happens, and it keeps happening. And in fortunately and unfortunately, depending on a different perspective, we live in an age now where, like, anyone and everyone can get the news, right? And to the point where it got so big that, like, the state of Louisiana, was it the governor? Was it?
No, the general attorney.
The general attorney of Louisiana got involved and even used the hashtag, which surprised me a little bit. So it's one of those things. It is one of those things where it's kind of the joke where it's like, who's thinking of the children? You know that meme, the Simpson meme, like, who's thinking of the children? And everyone jokes about that, but at this point, like, who is in this sense, right?
Right.
Growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. The day after the Attorney General's lawsuit was filed, Roblox's market value dropped by $12 billion. In response, the company scrambled to roll out new policies targeting the very not safe for work games featured in the lawsuit and my videos. Like, for instance, bathroom simulators. Mind you, the community has been calling out these games for years now. But still, even after everything, instead of removing these blatantly inappropriate experiences, Roblox simply slapped a 17+ label on them. They also launched...
What are your thoughts on that?
17+.
Yeah, so they didn't ban
Okay.
they didn't ban the games. They just said, "Oh no, they're 18+." Which technically speaking, 17 years, legally speaking, 17 years is still a minor.
Still a minor, dude. Still a minor. Still is. Will always be.
So yeah, like they're trying to fix the whole of this dam with, like, tape, and not good tape.
A ban wave against some of the worst games they've knowingly hosted for years. Games that have led thousands of children to getting extorted and worse. Roblox's actions are nothing more than damage control for the problems they've allowed to fester, when the entire community was screaming at them to fix these problems. And the community saw that killing the messenger was an act of war. Shortly after these changes, Roblox released a video so bad that it was community noted on Twitter twice. David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, Matt Kaufman, the Chief Safety Officer of Roblox, and Eliza Jacobs, the Senior Director of Product Policy, did a 45-minute tech talk. Most of this is just corporate jumbo, but they go ahead and respond directly to their vigilante policy. Before I show this, I want you to remember, I'm the only person that Roblox has targeted with this vigilante policy that they just created. Not even my team was moderated or given any legal letter. I begged for a clear line and even offered to keep much of my work private to help, and I'm no way obligated to do that, but instead they went straight after me, moderating my accounts and sending a cease and desist before I could even react to the policy. And let's be clear about one thing, I'm not a vigilante. That means I'm taking the law into my own hands. We work with law enforcement, which is why we have arrests. Roblox refuses to say my name because they'd have to acknowledge those arrests. But make no mistake, they're responding to the outrage, which is about me, and this is what they had to say about it. They first start off the interview by talking about how vigilantes started out as a good thing.
Both inside of Roblox, and I think that there are lots of people outside of Roblox who really have the best intentions and the welfare of our community at heart. We all want to keep Roblox safe. And you know what? We welcome them in part of the dialogue about how to keep Roblox safer. And we have members of the community in these vigilante groups that started off in a really good place. They started off by saying like, hey, they're reporting on issues on Roblox. They're talking about how we could do better. And you know, we paid really careful attention.
This statement is just laughably hilarious. If Roblox is really paying attention, then what about when my mom emailed you guys about my own cheating case? What did you do then? Nothing.
What are your thoughts, Liz?
Oh man. Oh boy. My thoughts
the bead
is
wards.
like, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
you're talking about the schlep situation?
Yeah.
Roblox is so stupid. They're losing so many content creators and collaborations with them.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is. Absolutely.
Prioritizing over child safety, anything over child safety is
Right? Right?
But yeah.
Vote for my
but
kid.
yeah.
Vote for my kid.
Yeah. So
I think yeah.
no, yeah. So
Yeah.
hearing those words coming from the heads of Roblox, Liz, what are your thoughts? Like those are the heads.
I think they're just trying to save their asses, cover their asses, but at the same time, they're really just digging themselves a hole. They weren't doing any good for themselves. They were just making it worse, which maybe is a good thing. Maybe they want the collapse. I don't know.
Actually, you kept paying the guy for years afterward, until you were literally forced to do something about it. If what Roblox was claiming was actually true, them listening to the community, why are the biggest content creators leaving your exclusive YouTuber program in protest of how you're moderating your platform? And I'm gonna actually bring up something later in this interview to show you how much of a joke this is. This here is Meep City, one of the most controversial games on Roblox. Precraft, one of the largest Roblox YouTubers, joined this game and within 4 seconds was exposed to not safe for work content. The community has been complaining about this game for almost a decade now, but Roblox has still continued to leave this game up and platform it. But CEO David Baszucki mentions this game by name.
Bazooki, that's how you say it, Bazooki.
You know, I can see some of our community naming experiences on Roblox and just say, take it down, take it down, take it down. I'd say examples could be Meep City, for example. Can you share, like, why should that be up? Should that be down? Like, what's up?
I think one thing that's really challenging on this global immersive interactive platform is that we have content created by developers and creators and content created by the community, by the users that are in that game. And one thing that we really try to do is be fair to our developers and to not moderate them for the behavior of their users.
How is this a crazy math problem? This is so simple. The creator of this game wants these people in their game. How is this even controversial? The developer is giving the tools to the player to make this inappropriate content. And that is the problem with Roblox. Roblox turns a blind eye unless the developers are blatantly making not safe for work games. And even then, it is still on the line if Roblox will take action. Roblox might have just went back on their word regarding Meep City. This game had
Roblox just took action against Meep City. Custom avatars, custom bios have been removed from the game. Huge steps forwards for Roblox. No more eggplant avatars. But yeah, they are. It sounds like a lot of the games get reported, and they're like, yeah, we tried to avoid being hands-on with a lot of things before leading into the community, which in itself is not too bad, but it's when it's become so explicit, right? That, like, why aren't you taking a better like hold on this serious situation? Like, it's being reported. If it's
People
been
were reporting it left and right, and they still didn't pull it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I played Roblox as a kid since 2017, right? 2018. And Meep City was one of the first games I played, and I saw so many inappropriate things on there, and I'm surprised it took them so long to finally do something.
2017. So how long is that?
8
years. 8 years,
Yeah.
Liz. 8 years.
had every inappropriate feature removed from it pretty much overnight. It's unknown if Roblox made Alex Neutron, the creator of Meep City, do this, but either way, it shows the public pressure is working. Games that Roblox is doubling down on are folding, so that's why it's really important to keep speaking up about this.
Then we saw something change. What we saw is that some of these groups started engaging with the community in ways that violated our policies. And so let me explain what that means. They would go and create accounts on Roblox claiming to be a child.
Roblox keeps repeating this same talking point, that I'm impersonating and pretending to be a child. Here's the reality. You have to pretend to be a child because if the predators knew they were talking to an adult, that wouldn't even be a crime. You guys seem to be more upset that I'm pretending to be a child than predators are decoys. And if it wasn't our decoys, it would be a real person. It's also worth noting that the FBI, ICAC, and local law enforcement all use these same exact tactics. Would Roblox be willing to send them a cease and desist too? And their claim that I'm impersonating children is flat out false. Impersonation means I'm stealing the identity of a real child. From the very beginning, we've never used real kids. We don't send pictures of real children, and we create totally new identities where every single photo that's sent is of someone that is of age. The only difference is we tell these people that we are underage. This is flat out a lie, what they're claiming. But what happens next is so wild that the CEO of Roblox cuts off the chief safety officer.
Ooh.
And then they would enter into game servers and they would go and start asking everybody around them, how old are you? And they were seeking out adults. If you said that you were, move on. But if you said that you were 25, then they would start engaging in conversations and they would try and use those conversations to simulate.
Matt, is this anecdotal? Because I know we have chat logs for all chat on Roblox and historical records.
Ooh, did you see that?
He cut him off.
And did you see how nervous, like those nervous ticks?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, we shouldn't be saying this. Like, it's.
I'm surprised he doesn't have it dialogued. Like somebody written it out. Well,
it's one of those things
they
where
weren't that smart.
I love
it just
like refusing to say his name. It's like that one moment in Avatar where they go to Ba Sing Se, and then they're like, "There is no war in Ba Sing Se." Yes, there is.
Marcus,
You're,
are you
you're
able to
refusing
kind
to
of-
say
David,
it, meaning you're not taking accountability for it.
Yeah.
Totally derails that conversation. That statement is probably the most wild made by Matt Kaufman in this whole interview. To simulate what, Matt Kaufman? Because it's not simulation. These are predators thinking that they're talking to someone that is real, and they a lot of times want to show up in person and do stuff to them in real life. And in my opinion, this shows how little Roblox actually cares about this problem. They can say whatever they want. They can talk about all the new safety features that they're rolling out, but it means nothing if lawsuits are being filed every single week against the company and headlines are making the media about a new horrible situation happening because of this platform. I also want to say how they totally mischaracterize how I run my decoy operation. We are never the first to engage with any of the predators. They always contact our decoy account first.
So we saw these actors, they're pretending to be kids, they're trying to find adults, and then what they're doing is they're trying to move the conversation as quickly as possible to other platforms that don't have the type of monitoring and policies that Roblox has. And then they were using that activity that happened on other platforms to create situations that they would then video, they would report to the police, and then only after would they let Roblox know.
Roblox is accusing me of encouraging adults to talk inappropriately to people they shouldn't. That is not true, and if it was true, I wouldn't have a single arrest. We present ourselves as a naive kid who doesn't know about these topics. Crimes like this should obviously be reported to law enforcement first, not Roblox. If Roblox is notified before the police, they can delete accounts, tip off the predators that are being investigated, and give them a chance to erase valuable evidence that the police need to prosecute. The fact that these predators are on the platform to begin with shows that their safety systems have failed. If Roblox did their jobs, there wouldn't be anybody for us to find. Roblox also claims that I'm moving these players to other platforms, but those platforms are linked directly on Roblox's own site. Roblox has actually even partnered with some of those platforms. They even own a bot on that other platform. Anyone can make an account 13 plus and see social media links on Roblox, and unsurprisingly, people in real life have been abducted because of this feature that Roblox.
New Jersey man sentenced to 15 years in federal prison after blank online transporting her across state lines via Uber. So there is a lot of bad, in his opinion, a lot of bad misinformation or bad representation of what they're trying to accuse him of, it looks like. And people see through it, right? Like, people are seeing through it. And they're scared. They are trying to uphold their shareholders. Truly, like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? If they can't appease the shareholders, then they're screwed. So they have to be very careful what they say, and it doesn't matter who they step on. But now it's
they're stepping over themselves right now. It's just hilarious in itself.
Roblox allowed.
Right.
And when they say I'm creating these situations, that's just insulting. I'm not creating situations. These predators are trying to people within your community.
And there's a bunch of issues in here. Number one, the violation of our policies about being honest about how old you are. Number two, moving conversations off platform. And number three, waiting to tell Roblox when they identified violative behavior to come and tell us so we could take action.
In Matt Kaufman's own words, in articles about vigilantes, he said law enforcement officials are best positioned to investigate potential crime. So why is he criticizing us for going to the police first? And it's not like we're not even reporting these things to Roblox. We do. We give Roblox the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. They have the first chat log till the very end where they're in handcuffs. And we have numerous fully documented instances where Roblox refused to take action until after we released videos that got millions of views. Also, waiting to tell Roblox in general is a policy violation? If you were on Roblox and went straight to the authorities instead of reporting it to Roblox first, could you technically be violating Roblox's terms of service?
I think some of these groups started off.
That's dumb. Like, oh yeah, you report that you were essayed and to Roblox first, then the police, Liz. Yeah, you got to go through them first, then you go to the police. If not, you're violating their policies.
That's how the policy goes, huh? I don't know what realm and what.
That is just so stupid.
That's bonkers. It's just it blows my mind. That's fucking bonkers, dude.
In a really good place, and they started off, really, and they still do really care about the community. The actions that they were taking were putting our community at greater risk and were violations of our policy.
He says I'm putting the community at risk. Roblox even went as far to accuse me and my team of being similar to predators. Think about that. They're implying I am preying on predators. So to Matt Kaufman and David Baszucki, I'm very sorry for preying on the predators of your platform and getting them arrested and put in handcuffs, because I didn't ever want to see kids go through what I went through.
These actors that were coming on the platform, they were reaching out to dozens and dozens of people, and the vast majority of those people were not responding to those engagements, and frankly, were harmed in that process.
I'm gonna show you this predator I caught. I sent a message in the chat and I got this guy messaging me.
Yes, okay, how old are you? I asked him back how old he is, and he says he's older than 18. I tell him I'm years old. Do you mind me being younger? No, not really. If you can keep it a secret between us, though. And he does Predator Strat 101. He asked for my Snap or Discord. And the reason why he's asking for Snap is because the messages delete. I tell him Discord, and I get on Discord with him, and the messages begin right away.
Throughout that entire process, where did I harm anyone? Because the real harm was Roblox letting this game exist on their platform for years. It only disappeared after Hindenburg, an investment research firm, went ahead and exposed Roblox for hosting this experience. And conveniently, it vanished the moment they showcased this predator catch. Notice as well how I wasn't the one to ask for Discord or Snapchat. The predator did. These were the sort of people interacting with our decoys, and so many people are becoming victimized from people exactly like this.
They were normalizing policy violations on the platform.
What Roblox's own algorithm recommends inappropriate items to people. Roblox.
Does that seem age appropriate, Liz?
No.
What Roblox's own
cat girl scratching or stretching. Like, oh, and you still gotta pay for it too.
The algorithm recommends inappropriate
poop white gum.
Popped white gum.
Items to people. Roblox actively hosts not safe for work games for children. Roblox themselves in this interview doubled down on one of the most infamous instances of inappropriate behavior that they've allowed for nearly a decade, and they're really going at me for normalizing policy violations. Absolutely unbelievable.
And the other piece is, oftentimes the sort of evidence that was collected, the video evidence, was really difficult to verify, really difficult for us. And if law enforcement had to verify it, then they're talking about subpoenas. And so I think something that sometimes seems obvious to folks in the community really is just much more complicated on the back end.
I'm not sure how the evidence that I was sending you guys was hard to verify. I sent you guys screen recordings of us scrolling through the entire chat on mobile. And a lot of the stuff that happens is happening directly within Roblox. Like for instance, when Roblox refused to ban this predator, we got arrested in Hawaii, and he was literally talking in-game about planning the meetup in real life on Roblox. With all that being said, I wanted to ask someone who's been working with law enforcement and has been doing predator catching since before I was even born. So I decided to take a seat with Chris Hansen to catch some answers.
Here it is, Liz.
I'm Chris Hansen. I'm co-founder and correspondent reporter for the True Blue Streaming Crime Network. We do a lot of crime and investigative reporting. Our Takedown series, which exposes predators trying to exploit children online. And
you're still doing the thing? I didn't know that. Did you?
Including this particular project, exposing the sort of thing that goes on Roblox.
I wanted to ask you about some of the comments that Roblox has specifically stated about like predator catching. One of the main complaints is pretending to be a child. I want to know your answer. It's kind of obvious, but the importance of using decoy accounts to just find different predators.
We couldn't do it without using decoy accounts. In the very beginning, we had an online watchdog group, Convoluted Justice, do that work, and now, and for the last several years, it's been members of law enforcement who have posed as children online, merely sitting in one of these areas, and they wait to be approached by somebody who is seeking to exploit children. And then the conversation takes place. It all happens according to the law, and then that gets turned over. Now, I understand that anytime somebody is not with law enforcement, it gives pause to a corporation. It's like, okay, here's this kid. We don't know whether he's following the rules properly. We don't know if he's running this via a lawyer. Maybe you could argue that they just don't want that sort of activity on their platform, but you'd think they'd be more worried about the activity that you're exposed to.
That's what I've been trying to get at this whole time.
Let's worry about that, number one, and then you can have a conversation with young Schlepp. I mean, if I were the CEO of Roblox, I would make you an ambassador for security. I would get out and...
The man's spitting facts. Like, he's been in this business for so long. I remember those. Those shows, those episodes.
I actually enjoyed watching those shows. Not gonna lie, To Catch a Predator. Damn, I didn't know it was renamed, but yeah, To Catch a Predator. That was what I've always known it as.
I'm guessing they rebrand because of legal reasons and stuff like that, copyright and shit. But he still is doing it apparently, and it's one of those things like it still has to be done. It's done through law enforcement still. You know, like we don't see it. The thing is, we don't see it. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening every day. Like,
yeah,
like not even just through Roblox. It's happening every day through other sources and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the thing we are talking about for this specific topic in this episode is, and I think we're for the most part I think we're done unless you want to finish watching this, but I think what we're getting at is that there is a platform being used to get people together, and there is a lack of security where children become the prey, basically. I think that's what we're getting at. And then to add to that, their biggest person who has been hunting the predators was basically, in my opinion, maliciously kicked off with a cease and desist. You know, that's where I'm getting at. What are your thoughts here?
I absolutely think so. And I think that's probably what is hurting them the worst right now. But I always say they're protecting somebody. They're not the people that they're really supposed to be entrusting with, you know?
No, we know who they're protecting. They're protecting their shareholders.
Like, the shareholders who are very got specific taste, right?
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. Allegedly.
I don't know. Allegedly. But you know.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny? When Roblox almost went public, I was about to buy some of their stock shares before it popped off, because they popped off, you would have made a good amount of money. You would have made a good chunk of money. Besides that, but yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Do you wanna continue, or you wanna kind of close this off, and we can watch this at a later time?
Yeah, we can watch it another time. We got lots of those articles to get through.
All right, then give us 1 second, everyone. This whole situation, as even your kid noticed, it's like, one, you've been hearing it in the background, and we've talked about certain instances with Roblox and things, and we probably could have read 100 other stories throughout the past year, but at that point it's just like repeating the same thing, unless something else crazy happened in those stories. It's just repeating another story in that sense. But here's a good question. Hearing it from your child's voice, what are your thoughts when they're able to relay some of this information to you? And mostly,
I had no idea this was going on, and I'm surprised they didn't tell me about this. And I'm like, I've told them to, to avoid that kind of stuff. And
yeah, and
you know.
another one is how did you feel when they told you that they were seeing stuff when like the Meep City thing that they were seeing some of these things happening on there? How did you feel when you were like, oh wait, you were seeing that? How did you feel that at that
Yeah,
point?
I felt real gross. I felt really bad at myself for doing letting them play Roblox now. I'm like, I just thought they were hanging out with their friends, but I guess not. So, but I guess again, this shouldn't have been going on for that long either. That should have been handled.
8 years, right? Back in what year?
They said 2017, so yeah, about 8 years.
How old and how old would they have been roughly?
What are they? I would have been. Oh God, math is not mathing right now.
Roughly.
It would have been 6.
So at 6 years old, they were seeing some of these things.
Yeah. Makes me feel like a bad parent. That's for sure.
It's just like I said, it's hard. It's hard these days. But it's like it's the sometimes like true. It is like the parents have to take some level of accountability. But when it becomes so maliciously not malicious, so what's the word I want to say? When they're not taking accountability, what's the word? You know what I'm trying to say? When
Not really.
when they're just failing.
Give me more context.
I don't know, when they're failing to do their basic job of trying to follow their own policies to protect the kids. There's a word, and I'm failing to get it. When they're failing,
it's probably there, but I'm got brain cells lost right now.
Yeah, but well, you're thinking to a lot like, oh my god, what is my kid looking at when they were playing Roblox?
Have to.
Exactly, it's like, but it's one of those things like, yeah, they're failing the system
To
that
do
they
their
built
jobs, to protect and take care of them too. It is absolutely a failure. I feel bad. I didn't realize that shit was happening. So
exactly. But hopefully we'll see what goes on. The lawsuit with Louisiana is currently still active. It seems like Schlepp is doing his thing. Probably the video has more of it, but we'll probably watch that later. Maybe for a bonus episode we can finish watching it to see what he's up to. But he was able to get in touch with one of the biggest predator hunters, Chris Hansen, and get some of his inputs, which was interesting. You know, from a child who was groomed on YouTube to becoming a hunter to then meeting one of the biggest predator hunters online. You know, that's a huge story, and it sucks that he's currently being sued. That's the other thing. We forget that he's getting sued, Liz. So hopefully that does not harm him in the long term. But it seems like he has a huge support network behind it. Any final words, Liz, in this? Nope. All right. That was a tough story, but the second story that we're about to talk to is also a tough one because we're stepping into the world of live streaming where the camera always is on, the boundaries are blurry, and sometimes the consequences are fatal.
On August 1st, 2025, Kick streamer Jean, I'm probably mutilate,
It's French. It's French.
Okay. Died live on stream, collapsing during a 16-hour broadcast of what initially appeared to be exhaustion. It wasn't. Hours later, our doctors confirmed it was hemorrhagic stroke.
So moving forward, we'll just call him JP. That's how he was known online a lot. So JP. JP was a mid-tier variety streamer, gaming, just chatting, high-energy content. Known for endurance streams, known for pushing himself, but this one was different.
You had titled the stream, No Sleep, No Breaks, 20-Hour of Madness Challenge. The VOD starts upbeat, music blasting, chat popping, By hour 11, you visibly see him slurring speech, blinking slower, looking dazed. Quote, I'm fine, chat. Just need water. Brain's just doing some jazz. End quote. Laughs and winces.
So the chat was spamming things like "take a break" and "bro, you good?" But at the 13-hour mark, he gets up, wobbles, then crashes off camera. His mic picked up the thud. There, a silence for over 2 minutes before a stream cuts.
Pick left the stream up for 6 hours post-collapse before it was taken down. Viewers didn't know what happened until the next day, when Gene's mod posted this news on Twitter. He didn't make it. End quote.
According to the hospital reports, JP had untreated high blood pressure. He had been using caffeine pills and nicotine patches to stay awake, both of which increase stroke risk, and especially under extreme stress and heat.
His last stream took place from a non-air conditioned room during a heat wave. It was 91 degrees Fahrenheit indoors, per the EMT report.
Let's be clear. That wasn't performance art. That wasn't scripted. That man was in physical distress on camera, trying to push it past it because the grind never stops.
And in pit culture, that's not just a meme, it's the expectation.
And that's the story, partially, of the 29-year-old man who streamed himself into a fatal stroke. The platform let the VOD sit unflagged and the community watch it unfold in real time.
Next up, we ask. Okay. Okay, stop.
Yeah. Let's
take a moment.
So yeah. So he was streaming. A few notes that should have been added. So he was streaming, and he was streaming with quote some of his quote friends, and they were not the nicest friends. You remember growing up, you always had those like douchebag friends who were
that mean friend that always egged you on, peer pressured you in.
So imagine if that one bad friend who would just like noogie you or grab you or give you like like a punch in the shoulder and stuff like that. We all have had that one friend, or were you that one bad friend?
But I ain't peer pressure you into anything.
But imagine if all his friends were those friends. That's where this situation gets a little bit more dicey. So during the stream, he had some of his quote friends there, and there's video clips of that stream and previous streams, and we can't show those because of how bad they are actually. Here, I'll post an image for Liz so she can get an idea.
I like this idea.
Just so you know, kind of just I'm not gonna make you watch a clip, but it's just so you can get an idea of what he was kind of going through a little bit during some of these streams. I can find. Look at this one. It's gonna be in topics, Liz.
Okay.
What the? Okay.
Daddy not able to help us.
There we go. Oh, here's a. This is kind of during the stream. Okay, I'm sorry, Liz. Liz, okay. Can you describe the image I sent you?
Looks like somebody's in a headlock. One of his friends is holding his arms behind his back, and someone was just egging him on.
So yeah, these were those friends. So imagine that for the quote extended stream and stuff. So there's a lot of mixed reactions to what's happening right now. But it doesn't seem there's like multiple things. There's a lot of things. This is currently in during investigation, which we'll continue reading. So how do we end up here, right? With a streamer pushing himself to the point of death live on Kick while thousands watched.
One word. Incentives and maybe some bad friends, quote unquote. The pressure to be alive, to live 24/7 isn't a side effect.
To be live.
It's
to be live.
To be alive.
To be live.
Sorry. To be live, sorry. 24/7 isn't a side effect. It's baked into the platform. Kick's monetizing system rewards watch time and stream hours, not just views or quality.
Which means the longer you're live, the more you earn. Even if you're just sitting there, drooling into the void, the clock's still ticking, the revenue's still stacking, subs are still coming in.
And JP knew that. He was trying to reach Partner Plus status, Kick's elite tier, where you get a 95/5 sub revenue split, but only after maintaining 85 hours a month across multiple categories.
Ooh, 95.5. That's a good amount of money. Now, okay, so what that means, Liz, is say you're getting a donation of $100, right? You get 95 and Kick gets $5. So you're basically like you're making money, basically. And so I wonder what I think the standard is 50-50. I think I can double check. But 95.5, that's crazy good. You know, if you're streaming and if you're raking in, let's just say $5,000. So what is that? Why can't I do math? That's 5. You're making what? 4,000 something? God damn it! Why can't I do math?
Don't ask me. I'm still trying to wake up, dude. No, the fact that I have early mornings and then nights again. Yeah.
$4,750 pre-tax. So
I wouldn't mind that just lounging in my pocket at any given time.
Wait. That's roughly after tax, you get $2,400. So $2,500 a month. If you're actively streaming, what's 85?
I would able to afford a mortgage, a real true house, not just a condo.
Now you know why some people stream, Liz, and they're millionaires. Anyways, that basically sounds like a second full-time job on camera. Then add in the audience expectations, declining engagement, and streamers' FOMO. You're talking about a recipe for disaster cooked in pure kerosene?
Cortisol. JP had been vocal on stream about making a comeback. And in one clip in July 28th, 3 days before his final broadcast, he said, quote, "If I don't break 100 hours this month, I'm done. Sponsors ghosted me, numbers down. This stream has to hit."
Ooh, that just tells you money was bad. We've already streamed 57 hours in the final week alone, and that's over 8 hours a day. Every day, that's not counting the time spent prepping for those streams.
The red flags were there. Viewers noticed. Mods noticed. Even his friends were texting him during the stream. One reported a message, "Dude, please take a nap. You looked wrecked."
But JP pushed through.
Done any better.
Yeah. But Gene pushed through because stepping felt like failure. Because Kick makes sure if you log off, you disappear.
And Kick, they don't intervene. No audio alert from collapsed streamers. No time out for signs of distress. The S talks a lot about community safety, but their back and clearly doesn't enforce it in real time.
Compared to that to Twitch, which, well, far from perfect, tell me about it. They have moderation triggers, keywords, alerts, and even AI moderation for self-harm speeches.
Fixed response window? 6 hours after the stream cut. The VOD was still viewable, unflagged, with clips circulating on X and Discord.
So how did we get here? Because JP wasn't an anomaly. He was an inevitable result of the system that rewards endurance over well-being, hustle over health, views over actual human safety.
And not just kick. This is the dark side of the content culture, where being online too long is normal. Burnt out is a badge of honor, and the rest is treated like a weakness.
The only difference this time is the consequences didn't play out quietly behind a screen. They happened live. The internet couldn't look away. So yeah, that's the truth of content culture, right? For us, content is us just kind of finding some news stories and getting them ready, organizing them, and then being able to talk to them, discuss it back and forth, and have an actual conversation. And then kind of see what our thoughts are. Sometimes we differ and sometimes we agree, right? That's kind of the way of the show. But not all content's that way, right? Some people game, some people do political talk, some people do just weird stuff. And people forget that there has been the joke that that streaming for 8 hours is quote harder than a real 8-hour job. But that's a discussion for another day. But you are there, sitting there for 8 hours, doing whatever you need to do. There are things to do in the background. And to try to get the numbers is another thing. It's like that little jingling, right? You get likes. Oh, I got 10 likes on this video. I got 1,000 hearts on my Instagram posts. And it's the chase for more, right? People want that. People get that validation. I don't know if you have had that little inkling maybe now or in your younger days where you're just like, oh, someone liked my thing on Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you know people like people like that? Or like, oh, I got
No, actually, no, I don't think so. I don't think I know anybody like that to the extreme. No. I think my only hype and my one and only hype was that I had a decent amount of likes on my video from my dad. That's my dark humor joke. So
thanks, Dad. I got a lot of likes on my.
Yeah, it was funny. But it was a good comedy. I mean, I we all have that dark humor sense, so it was kind of funny, and I think that was my highlight. And it hasn't come back up yet, and I never will. Maybe I'll find another one, but until then,
Okay.
I think it's funny.
It's nice to we talk a little bit about it for the show a little bit because we do enjoy it when our audience grows. So we do like that. Like we welcome all the new people joining us. If you made it this far, wow, you made it far. But we do enjoy it when you're here. We do talk about it because we are still trying to expand to an extent. Because we like when we have more people discussing things. We want to hear your guys' opinion as well. And it's nice to just see our little show grow. Do we think it's ever going to be the biggest show on all these platforms? No. Is it going to be a nice niche on the internet? Yeah. We get a good amount of views and we appreciate those who do. We get a good amount of listens on the podcast platforms from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all those. And we enjoy that you guys listen because you're listening to two random people just talk about some random
Literally
stuff.
random.
Yep. But it's the hustle is the hard part because imagine if we were like this, like our main quote job, like this is how we were making our living. We were like, okay, Liz, we need to make sure we're finding the stories. We got to get our, like, imagine if we had to be like the studio at my house, like, okay, Liz, we got to be here. You got to be here at this time. You got to get your outfit for this. We got to record this. Imagine if that was the grind we would have to do.
I think I was exhausted from that. I have a hard time just getting up from my own job.
But then think about it. Okay, then now think of it this way. We'll go back a little bit to the story, but think about it when it's you're making tens and thousands of dollars at that point. You're like making 50
worth
grand a
it.
month.
I would love that. 50 grand a month.
So that's what.
Yeah.
That's when now you can see why the people. Now you can see why the grind is so there, and that's why you don't want to fall off too. It's like, oh, I'm making 50 grand. I got to make sure I stay on top. Like, what's gonna keep my now do you understand why the grind is so hard? Like,
yeah.
Like, would you want to stop making 50 grand the next month? Like, oh, you only made 20 grand this month, Liz. Like, does it become harder? Yeah. So now you can see, like, mostly then going back a little bit to the story, it sounds like for JP, in this situation, he was trying to get to that level to make sure they're making money. And then because a lot of the extra revenue coming out wasn't coming back, it was just becoming harder and harder, right? And makes sense. Like you gotta try to stay on top, thing like that. So let's kind of jump back here. So the stream ends, and JP is sadly gone. The news breaks the next morning, and then internet erupts.
Within an hour, hashtag Rest in Power Gene was trending on X. A mix of shock, grief, and anger, and a lot of anger.
Comments range from "This is heartbreaking" to "Kick let him die on camera." Streamers from Twitch, YouTube, and even Rumble started weighing in.
Big names like XQC, Code Miko, and Asmon Gold went live with tributes and critiques. Code Miko said during her stream, quote, "We're watching people break themselves for numbers. This isn't entertainment anymore. It's exploitation."
Meanwhile, Kick's official Twitter account posted a single statement 24 hours after JP's death. Quote, "We are saddened by the passing of one of our creators. Our thoughts are with JP's or Gene's loved ones. We are reviewing our policies moving forward." End quote.
That's it. No mention of BOD, no address to the viewer safety side, no accountability, just vibes and vagueness.
And you think maybe they start pulling back at the grind culture. Nope. Apparently 3 days after, Kick launched a new partner challenge list with a prize bonus for the top 5 streamed hours in August. You better start that grind.
Tone Deaf doesn't even begin to cover it. One Reddit user put it perfectly. Quote, "Imagine someone dies running a marathon and your response is to host a longer one with less water." End quote.
Then let's talk legal, because lawyers are watching. Andrew Kassam, a digital media, I think I said pronounced it. A digital media attorney told Rolling Stone, quote, "If Kick knowingly incentivized extreme streaming without safety systems or wellness warnings, they could face civil liabilities, especially if another death occurs." End quote.
Translation, if this becomes a pattern, they're just not in PR trouble, they are in court trouble.
That was weird. Why did it lock up? Let's see here. There's already talks of the Gene Law, a proposed safety streamer bill in California that could require platforms to provide wellness breaks, live human mod teams, and health flag alerts during long broadcasts.
Okay, I'm sorry. I lost where I was at. It's my bad.
The Gene Law.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Would it pass? Probably not yet. But the fact that people are even suggesting legislation, that's how bad it got.
Kind of like what we were talking about before. The last one. What's left behind is a grieving audience, a silent platform, and a warning no one wanted. The grind literally killed you.
JP wasn't weak. He wasn't reckless. He was doing what the system told him would bring success, and it cost him everything.
So if you're a creator, please log off, take a break, drink some water, and plus choose your friends wisely. No sub goal is worth your life. Let's discuss this a little bit. So yeah, platform wise, yeah, there's most and all platforms don't have very great moderation when it comes to things like be it Kick, Twitch, YouTube. Like these are like the big ones. They like there's barely any real moderation when it comes to these things, and definitely when it comes to these like subathons, these like hour long ones.
There's gonna be K-pop Demon Hunters merch at the sing along tonight.
Ooh, that should be fun.
Stickers too.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like this situation itself is there's a lot of layers to it. They're investigating the French are investigating all this information because one, yeah, it was he was not in good health already. That's one thing for sure. He had.
Well, I think if you got high blood, I mean, you're stressing yourself out so hard, and you're going that hard, the blood pressure is gonna raise, obviously.
Yeah.
Adding caffeine pills and nicotine patches don't help, but
and then and then add the quote friends around with him, agitating.
Yeah, no kidding.
On top of he actually had a quote he told to his mother that his quote friends just wouldn't let him stop or leave because he just felt trapped. Like he wanted to stop sometime, but they just wouldn't let him. And that's another just sad thing. Like you want to stop, and then your friends are telling you that you can't stop, and it's a very, very sad story of someone who was making their way up, became a moderate streamer and earning a decent living to the point where they were starting to fall off, and then they just fell into these holes, and they just kept grinding and getting into these friend groups that was making him some more money, but to what extent? But there's a lot of litigation happening. There's a lot of people investigation, so we won't know exactly what happened. But it's just a sad story overall. Of like people that when you hear like I told you, like you said, like, you would want to do it, Liz, if you're making 50K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds extremely tempting, right? We talk about these people, the people who are making thousands of dollars just sitting where we are.
Well, if I lose my job, I know what I'm doing next. Okay.
And it's and it just but then it's like, all right, Liz, you better get on that grind, because it's like you get that to earn that money and to keep that's the other, to keep earning that money. You got to stay relevant, stay entertaining, and it's it can become very detrimental, as you can tell. But it's not impossible. It's like there are healthy methods to do it these days. Because there are now better systems, better tools for individuals, better ways to run things. That's the other thing. It's like, yeah, there are people who can do things now to mitigate some of this. It's just, what could it be? Could it have been the platform that did it? Could it be his health that did it? Could it be his friends that did it? Or can it just be a mix of everything?
All of it.
So we wish the best for his family. It's sad that it had to go this far, and on top of that, like a live death on, like, I think at most I've seen 4 live streams that people died on. Like,
it's just sad.
Yeah, and then remember, people are watching, and sometimes you just anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Right.
So, our final story tonight is gonna be I'm gonna reiterate. It's gonna be specifically talking about the copyright law portion and the content creation and online court showdown that got everyone choosing sides faster than a Twitter poll.
That's right, Ethan Klein, host of H3 podcast and CEO of Lawsuits Per Quarter, is suing 3 female Twitch streamers for copyright infringement: Denims, Caseytron, and Frogan. Frogan? I don't know. Sorry.
Frogan.
Frogan, sorry.
Okay, so according to a court filing submitted back in August 7th, 2025, Ethan claims that all 3 women use large, unedited portions of his podcast content in their live streams without transformation, commentary, or critique.
And not just once. The suit outlined 8 specific examples across a 2-week span where the defendants allegedly watched clips in the H3 podcast in minutes at a time, sometimes while eating, reading, chat, or just reacting with a quote, minimal verbal input. Quote, the use of plaintiff's content was habitual, unedited, and lacked sufficient commentary or parody to qualify as fair use. End quote.
So, in short, Ethan says they sat there watching his content, reacting only occasionally, and basically rebroadcasted like it was a cable TV.
The main video Ethan's team points to, a clip from Denim's stream on July 28th, where she played 11 minutes of an H3 interview uninterrupted. Ethan is mid-sentence. Denim eats half a muffin and says true twice.
So, transformative content or just a brunch with a background noise? That's the million subscriber question.
Now, for context, Ethan's not a stranger to copyright beef. He and his Gila famously won a landmark fair use case in 2017 against Matt Haas, a YouTuber, claimed they mocked his work unfairly.
So now he's flipping sides, saying his own content is being used unfairly by streamers doing the exact kind of lazy React content he previously criticized himself. Or he was criticized himself.
Each defendant received DMCA's takedown before the lawsuit. When they didn't remove the VODs, Ethan escalated to federal court.
He's asking for damages, legal fees, and injunctions preventing the continued use of the H3 content, or at least the videos. There's no YouTube slap fight. This is a real court, real lawyers, and actual consequences.
And just to be clear, he's not suing them for criticizing him. He's suing them for not changing his content enough to legally reuse it.
So the headline, Ethan Klein is suing 3 female Twitch streamers for watching his podcast and not reacting enough to make it legal. That's a long headline.
Yeah, coming up next.
Okay, so yeah. So that's the general, like I said, there's a lot to this. So this is the big story we're going to be talking about. There's a lot. This has been happening for months, and there's a lot to dig in, Liz. So for anyone watching this far, what we're going to be talking about mainly is about the copyright side of things, none of the drama, none of the things in the background. If that's something we want to dive deeper, that can probably be a bonus episode because there's a whole another litany. But this is just going to be about the copyright stuff, about that, because we just did a little bit ago, we reacted to the Schlepp video, and yeah, Liz I've let her know that we have to be more interactive when because we don't want a lawsuit. And because that's the thing, people do it. I do small reactions to trailers, and I do my best to be some level of transformative, have some transformative content in there, even though you still get slapped here and there. But we try our best. That's the thing. But yeah, but that's gonna be the main focal point for this level of discussion. So for anyone who's gonna come at us, we are only talking about the copyright side of this lawsuit, as much as there is a whole litany more to it. Just the copyright is what we're going to be talking about. So this lawsuit didn't come out of nowhere. Like all good internet drama, it started with a few subtle jabs, some low effort tweets, some that spiraled into some legal hell.
Early July 2025, Ethan goes on a bit of a rant during H3 After Dark stream. He's talking about the rise of lazy React content, and he says, quote, some streamers are just watching podcasts now. Full episodes, not adding anything. It's ridiculous, end quote.
So, no names dropped, but Twitch chat immediately started spamming. He's talking about denims. Called out Frogan, and don't forget Caseytron, and many others.
And a week later, Caseytron slaps back on Twitter with, quote, it's rich coming from the guy who built his brand reacting to other people's work. Ethan's mad women are better at being lazy than him, end quote.
So a few days later, Frogan quote tweets an H3 clip with, quote, thanks for the content, King, end quote, followed by a crying laughing emoji. Translation, yeah, we're watching your stuff, and I believe that's what it is.
Meanwhile, Ethan's still simmering. He tweets on July 20th, reminder, fair use isn't a free pass to read podcast content. You still have to transform it. Stop pretending vibes count as a critique.
Just for future reference, anytime we say tweet on Ethan's side, it's a Instagram post. What are they called? Not a post. When they go on, not reels, when they stories. A story.
Oh.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Okay, so he's stories, not tweets.
My bad.
Okay. No, that's happening. It's just a mistranslation on the paperwork here. So then the clip broke the internet, the camel's back. On July 28th, Denon watched an 11+ minute video segment of Ethan's discussion, AI ethics, and YouTube demonetization. He says true twice, like we mentioned earlier, and then the joke about his bread. That's it.
Beard.
A beard.
The clip goes on viral on Reddit thread. Quote, Denim reacts to H3 by doing nothing for 11 minutes. End quote. It hits 18k upvotes in 6 hours. Comments are brutal. One quoted said, this isn't a fair use. This is cable reruns with extra chewing sounds. End quote.
So, by August 1st, Ethan issues the DCA takedown. Denim's response with a live stream title. So apparently I'm getting sued now. And this is from the big video that he claims. But this is what she tells viewers. Oh, quote, I didn't steal his content. I added my perspective. If my vibes makes it better, that's transformative. That's transformation. Vibes.
I mean, it's a vibe-based editing, a legal defense, because I'd be copyright my attitude.
By August 7th, the lawsuit is official. Legal filings are public. And suddenly what's stated as streamer subtweets become a battle of what reaction content actually means under US law.
So to recap, Ethan called out lazy reacting, the Twitch girls responded with memes, a clip went viral for the wrong reasons, and now we're in a full-blown podcast versus Twitch dawn of copyright.
So, for all intents and purposes, just a reminder, this is all over Caseytron's, Denim's, and Frogan's reaction to the big content nuke that Ethan posted. Let me get that out. Those files. Got those now. We have a 12-page docket specifically for this.
Oh boy.
Oh, wait, did I not give you that one? Send it to you.
You failed.
If you need a peek at it. Oh yeah, there is everyone was looking forward to watching this video, and they did a quote poor job reacting to it, where they made a video. Find it.
It's 12 pages. Not reading that today. Sorry. Not sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Too long. I don't even have the span to read books lately.
So there was a video. I'm suing 3 creators, where he announced where he was suing them, and showcased the video they were. We might watch that at a later date, but it showcased them. Ethan officially suing them, and it goes to a full blown what's happening now into a lawsuit. Whoa, so continuing. So when the lawsuit hits the internet, you know what happens next. The lawyers log on. Legal YouTubers, Twitter threads, and Reddit essays with way too much Latin in them.
Because nothing says, quote, serious legal analysis, quote, end quote, like a man in a gaming chair saying, now I'm not your lawyer, but...
So we're going to start with one of our favorite law tubers, Legal Mindset, aka Andrew Esquire, who did a full breakdown of the case when it dropped. His take, his to kind of sum it up, quote, Ethan's argument is strong because the content shown was essentially rebroadcasts. Minimal commentary, minimal transformation. That's textbook definition of infringement.
So basically saying, true, while eating a bagel did not count as fair use transformation, noted.
And many more. Like I said, we'll be watching that video at a later date, so Liz can get the full context. But then we got Emily D. Baker, former prosecutor and YouTube legal queen. She weighed in on this case. This is a solid case, but Ethan's biggest hurdle is public perception. He's built his brand on reaction commentary, so even if he wins, he looks like a hypocrite.
Translation: legally right, but memetically wrong. And let's be real, internet trials are decided in the court of by first, law second.
That's how it is online. Then we got, it's Rita Law, I believe that's how you pronounce their name. Also chimed in on Twitch saying the defendant boilerplate defense, things like fair use, lack of damages, and even unclean hands aren't unusual, but they look weak without specific arguments.
Oh, unclean hands is my new favorite legal defense. Imagine farting on stream and then sorry, and then filling that in court.
Filing
that in court. Sorry.
Meanwhile, is it Hugh Law? That pronounced?
Oh.
Oglog? I think that's how you pronounce it. We do apologize, but Hugh Law wrote a lengthy blog post arguing that Ethan is basically baiting a precedent. Quote, if Ethan Klein wins, the bar for fair use is reaction stream rises. If he loses, the floor drops entirely. Either way, it clarifies the gray zone streamers have relied on for years.
But this isn't just about Ethan being petty. This is about whether Twitch React content, one of the platform's biggest genres, survives without major changes.
And here's the kicker. Even Ethan admits in a clip of his own stream, but this is just, okay, quote, this isn't just about me. I want to set a precedent. If lazy reacting is allowed, creators like me will stop making long-form content altogether, end quote. And this is back in August 10th.
Which is wild, because that's basically Ethan saying, I sued them on purpose to draw a legal line. He's speedrunning his villain arc and public service announcement at the same time.
That's not the reason he's doing it, but so the lawyers agree. Ethan's case is solid. But the optics messy, the vibes hypocritical, the memes, they've been brutal online.
And the Twitch girls, they're not backing down. Denim says she'll fight it. Facertron's streaming drunk reactions like it's evidence gathering. Program deleted her whole VOD library and dipped.
Yes, so yeah. Correction, a little update. Rogan did delete her VODs. I like how you've been saying VODs. Most people just call it VODs. I just been like, I'll let her say VODs. It's funnier. I think it's cute.
I like VOD. Okay.
But anyway, she did delete her VODs. But as of recently, she has accepted her lawsuit. So she has been served. So she has a 60-day extension to her lawsuit compared to Casey Tron and Denim. So just to clarify, just so we can be accurate. Right now, Casey Tron and Denims are currently the most actively being. But yeah, just clarification there. So the lawyers weighed in, but to be honest, this is the internet. The real verdict happens on Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it. And the court of public opinion, Ethan case is complicated.
Yeah, complicated like a Facebook relationship status, because technically people agree he's right, but emotionally they kind of hate it.
On Reddit, on r/livestream fails, has the biggest thread, over 25,000 upvotes, titled Ethan Klein sues Twitch girls for being lazy to react. Quote, he's right legally, but its fair use requires talking every 30 seconds. Twitch is doomed, end quote.
Meanwhile, on X, #LazyReact trended for 2 days straight. Half the posts were dunking on Ethan, half were dunking on the streamers. One viral tweet said, quote, Denims reacted so little, I thought my YouTube froze, end quote.
And there's another banger from Frogan's VOD deletion, which got memed into a Thanos snap. A GIF caption, fine, I'll do it myself. Got 400,000 likes, Liz. Absolutely everywhere.
In case Sean, people had a field day with that fart thing. One post read, quote, new legal precedent. If you fart while watching a movie, it's transformative, end quote. Honestly, that's better than half the briefs in this case.
Even other creators weighed in. Moist Critical, aka Charlie, uploaded a video called Reacting to React Lawsuits, where he basically said, quote, it's about time someone did this, but suing 3 women first, that looks bad. Well, end quote.
That's been a huge talking point in gender optics. A lot of people just are asking Ethan it would have sued 3 male streamers for the same thing, or picking these women specifically made the whole case look targeted.
Meanwhile, Ethan fans are trying to spin it in as heroic. One comment from the H3 production subreddit said, quote, this is bigger than the memes. Ethan's protecting creators everywhere who put hours into content, end quote.
But his haters? Oh, they're eating this. I don't know. I'm sorry. R/H3 Snark has been posting photoshops of Ethan in a judge's row holding bags of money with captions like, quote, court is inclined session, end quote.
And those are the tame ones too. So the vibes are split. It's legally strong, optically weak, meme potential through the roof for others.
And that's the danger of suing the age of the internet. You might win in court, but lose the meme war, and the memes live forever.
So, where are we now? As of recently, the lawsuit is in its early stages, but the lines are already drawn. They're messy.
Messy like a Twitch chat when mods go AFK, because all 3 defendants are handling it like completely differently.
Okay, go one by one. I'm gonna go one by one because we gotta make some corrections now. The first, Denim, she has filed for legal answers with 18 affirmative defenses, which have been gone through. Legal Mindset has actually made a video going over all of those answers. And a lot of them aren't looking good. I'm gonna be honest. So some of the ones, they were talking like you throw spaghetti at the wall. Some of the strategies claims are like the strongest one is fair use. Some of them are like no financial damages. The other one's about First Amendment protections. The other one's, like we joked earlier, is even unclean hands, which basically argues that Ethan isn't morally clean enough to get sued. Apparently, he's such a bad guy that you can't sue him. You can't be sued by
him. Quote, unclean hands, unquote, is less of a defense and more of a roast. Like, Your Honor, he's too cringe to win.
And then there's Casey Tron. They have the same lawyer, same boilerplate defense that can become iffy apparently. But with the added wrinkle of her reputation, the filing mentioned alcohol and weed on the stream. And no, I don't think there was alcohol. There was more just about weed on this one. Yeah, no, correction. It was mainly about her smoking weed. And which it goes when it goes to trial could literally be played in open court.
Imagine a jury hearing 11 minutes of Ethan Klein talking about YouTube ads, followed by Casey Tron snoring and a mic fart. That's Exhibit A. That's case law history.
And finally, Frogan, who okay, so that correction. So they have been served. Like I said, they have a 60-day extension. It's been a while now, but yeah, they have extended. But they did delete their VODs, which didn't make it look nice when you're trying to hide evidence. You might just want to skip to. Let me just continue a little. So legal commentators like Legal Mindset and Hugh Law both flagged this is huge. Because proven arguments, it's equivalent rage quitting the game. They don't need that no more. Okay, good. Okay, and right here. So here, Liz.
So the possible outcome, settlement, Ethan gets money, the streamers stop using his content, and it fizzles out. Default judgment against Frogan, with Denims and Casey John still fighting. Trial, which could set precedent for the entire streaming industry.
So the third option, that's the nuclear one, because Ethan wins in trial. The new line of fair use would be you must add meaningful commentary, edits, to critique, or not just watch it with me energy. The vibes, basically.
Yep. That would mean the end of lazy reacts. No more snack eating AFK streams with a YouTube video running in the background. Every streamer should have to get more thoughtful, more critical, more edited.
But if Ethan loses, the floor drops. Streamers could play entire movies, potentially documentaries and podcasts without minimal reactions and claim fair use. This would be a nightmare for creators who rely on ad revenue from original content.
Either way, this lawsuit matters a lot. It's not just about Ethan being petty, it's about the internet defines content going forward.
And here's the irony. Ethan himself helped build the system back in 2017. He won a fair use case by proving that his reactions added enough commentary and critique. Now he's arguing that the other people failed to meet the same bar.
He's gone from poster child for fair use to gatekeeper of fair use, which is why so many people are torn. Legally, he's right. Optically, he looks like a hypocrite.
And the public reaction reflects the split. Supporters call it necessary accountability. Critics call it clout chasing. The memes unrelenting.
But at the end of the day, this isn't about Twitch drama. This is about the first real case that could define the reaction content looks like for the next decade.
Because if your idea of reacting is pressing play, nodding twice, and ripping one on a condenser mic, that might not be the cut anymore.
Unless, of course, the court rules that fart noises are transformative. In which case, God help us all.
And that's where we're at. 3 streamers, 1 YouTube veteran, and the case that could set precedent or implode into memes.
And no matter what happens in court, one thing's for sure, the internet's already decided. The verdict means memes, and the sentence is forever.
So that's the story, roughly, of Ethan Klein versus Twitch laziest reactors. History in the making, one VOD at a time. But this is just the tip of the iceberg with this whole situation, which we might dive deep at a later date or as a bonus episode, since this is a whole saga that is currently unfolding. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot to this whole. We haven't got to a lot of the things that are being said. Like, since they're online personalities, a lot of words have been exchanged on VODs. We could probably sit here, watch 8 hours. We can stream 8 hours to catch up. That's how much content being
I don't have 8
thrown
hours
back
a
and
day, I'm
forth.
sorry.
Liz, we can make $50,000. Did you forget about that?
No, I did not forget about that, but I don't have 8 hours to even spare some days.
You could if
I'm a
it's your
mom, for God's sakes.
for 50K.
My kid would spend it before I could have it.
Anyways, but yeah, that's we might do that as a bonus episode to catch you up because this is a story that's going to be happening since it's lawsuits take extended periods of time, takes a lot of things, discovery, things that are happening to kind of give you a little bit of a taste list. Some of the other things that have been happening around. There has been death threats. There has been human skulls delivered. There has been a lot. That, like I said, what we just talked.
Spicy. This is literally the tip of an iceberg.
What we talked about was the legal copyright section of. There has been more. There's a lot.
Literally tip of an iceberg. There's like a piece of paper that we're only getting we're getting a small fraction of this whole paragraph. Shit happened.
Oh yeah. We could probably do that as bonus episodes.
Lord.
So to catch you up, and then you would have the full context. And it'll be interesting to get your interpretation, your thoughts, as someone who's not in these spaces on the online space. I would like to see your thoughts on that and see, because yeah, it is a copyright lawsuit, but there's a lot more, and I would like to hear your thoughts on it too, as someone from outside the thing. Any other thoughts, Liz, on this whole thing? And
I feel like there's so much to uncover. I feel like I'm not getting the whole story, so maybe we'll have to do a deep dive in there to get my opinion on this.
But yeah, if he does win, Liz, you better start reacting better. Can't get sued. You can't get sued.
I'll try. I just very much watch everything. I'm very gotta watch, check to see if I'm missing something.
All right, that's gonna do it for this episode. Our big season 8 kickoff, from Roblox banning its own Batman to kick streamers' tragedy, to Ethan Klein suing 3 Twitch streamers. We really came out swinging this week.
Yeah, nothing says we're back like child safety laws, grind culture, killing people, and copyright beef over what we say true the longest. Welcome to the Convoluted Podcast.
Honestly, it felt good to be back in the chair. Season 8 energies hits different.
Especially now that I'm coming back as Mrs. Dominus.
Oh my god, she said it.
I mean, I cannot not. Tyrant Dominus, put a ring on it during our little vacation. So yeah, I'm podcasting with my husband and also with you, Jesus.
Thanks. Glad to be the other guy at the table.
The sidekick, the Bobbin, except married to Batman.
All right, before I get roasted into a cease and desist, let's hit that call to action.
If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like, leave a comment, and hit subscribe. Because literally, that's how YouTube works now. No clicks, no views, no podcasts.
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other podcast platform, follow the show, drop a rating, leave us a review, tell a friend, or just tell your enemy. tell that one Roblox mod who's pretending to be their chat room is safe.
Word of mouth is how we go. Seriously, text us to your weirdest Discord group and let them judge us.
And hey, shout out to everyone who's been writing with us since the early days. We're 8 seasons deep and still as convoluted as ever.
New episodes, new chaos, new inside jokes, same questionable life choices.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back next time for more news, more nonsense, and more reasons to wonder why the internet hasn't exploded yet.
Until then, stay convoluted.
Bye.
I'm going with KB, surge to a level of the block to the 95. Live the night, going, we going, we out, going, we go. Yo, we got bees in the street, Seagulls on the block, this is Gerald TCP, live talking cover. Locked up a man with the mic and a bulletproof vest, reporting live from a scene that's a hot mess. Beach umbrella flying like a heat-seek missile. 30,000 bees, man, they sound like a whistle. Love a king beef and got steaks on the grill, screaming, where's Joe Rogan? Bro, just chill. Mr. Beast dropped $500,000 on a ride. Disney shut down for his date inside.